I'm Alyssa Nuehs. I'm a captain in the Army Reserves, and I'm currently located in Columbus, Ohio. So I have a 1 and 3-year-old. My husband has had different jobs, and the one he currently has requires a lot of flexibility as he co-owns a food truck. And so that means that sometimes it's late nights, or it's also working on the weekends, or a variety of things. So when BA weekend comes around, since we typically share the childcare responsibilities, we need the coverage to allow that flexibility for the longer drill weekends, especially the weekends. Daycares are typically like Monday through Friday, and then babysitters are just very expensive. So having the opportunity to have someone coordinate that care, it's also the obstacle of finding someone that you trust and going through all of that. So essentially like Upwards took the mental load off of that for me. That's why I definitely leaned into doing Upwards. The sign up process was really easy and the care coordinator was very responsive. I asked either to be close to where we live, where I drill, or where my husband works, and she was able to find a place that's in between where I drill and work and close to my husband's location. And so she's able to accommodate. There was one day that my husband worked, dropped them off and left them from 7:30 until 9 at night. And she was able to accommodate that. She did schedule the tour for us. And then we were also able to get in contact with Angela, and we did go and meet her in person before we had our kids there. And so that was nice to be able to actually meet her and kind of see the area before just dropping off our kids. It was great that we had that opportunity. And then it was also helpful to get all that paperwork ahead of time. So we were able to grab the documents. So when we did show up to drop off our kids with Angela, we had all the stuff that she needed. I definitely think Upwards took the mental load off of finding childcare initially, which was huge because that's just an additional stressor. And then it was nice to know that we had somewhere to take the kids, especially regardless of how crazy my or my husband's hours were or whatever my drill situation was. So that was super great. And then just having the ability to know and be in communication with that person was also super helpful. It does make it a little bit easier, but it definitely is a challenge to manage my career and my kids and my civilian career. I know that a lot of service members are parents, and I know it puts a lot of strain on kids for parents to be gone during the weekend. And so having an option to support us when we go through the weekends is huge, especially if it is covered. That takes the financial burden off, because there's some people who just by going to drill because they want to serve their country and enjoy the military end up losing money. Like I said, a lot of people travel from outside of Columbus, Ohio, from different states, and there's a certain amount of money that will be reimbursed for people to travel, but sometimes it's not enough to cover all of it. And so having the childcare expense being covered is a huge benefit to the military when we're already giving up our weekends and changing different things for our families. I definitely believe that if the Army, especially the reserves, is going to be soldier first, that includes the families. And if we're not taking care of the soldiers and their families, we're not going to be able to maintain the soldiers and be able to really allow our force to be as resilient and lethal as we're supposed to be. So this Upwards program provides the support and the resources that some service members need, especially single parents, to serve the country. And so with the Reserve and the Army having so many issues retaining people, without funding a program like Upwards, we're just going to keep losing a lot of talent, because parents do bring a lot of skill sets and patience and different management styles that make the force stronger. So it's super important to account for childcare, especially when it can cause a financial burden, emotional burden, mental burden. We want soldiers and families to really be able to serve our country. We also have to serve them.